Hello, hello. I am Gray or Goop, and this is Molo. This is my first map, and I'm gonna be recording some videos, mostly for myself, I guess, just to kind of journal my progress with this map as I keep building it. I have been working on and off on this map for a few months now, and really kicked it into gear over the past couple months to get my first fully complete map, and I've had it playtested 3 times so far, and people seem to really like it. So, apologize for the weird visuals. In the future, I will learn how to make these a bit smoother for these presentation kind of things, but I'm just doing kind of a quick overview today to give you an idea of what's going on. So, we can get started in game here. So this is the site. We have one central piece of cover here. I'm just gonna run through this. This is back site back here. Got a little self-boost spot right here for right now. This is wood. You can wallbang this and cover from that side. Here's truck. This is probably one of the most memorable defining features of this map. It's a through angle where you can see an entrance into site as well as some of back site. Just not that bit over there. And here's window. Damn, I really need to figure out how to present this ahead of time. That's CT spawn back there, and this is long. So if we're to break the map down into 3 big parts, here's what they would be. We have courtyard, as I'm calling it right now. This is kind of like the mid of the map. T's have 2 entrances, upper and lower, to get into it from heaven or alley, as of right now. And CTs have 3 ways. They have that center window, which you can't jump into solo now. You have the longer fight over here. They have kind of a weird car boost as well for that for right now. And loading dock. Loading dock has a cubby on this side and a window that looks into the other side of the map. Loading dock as well as site here I would consider to be the second big point. Third big point is arches or long or something. It's very visually noisy right now, but it has kind of a neat like X split dynamic to it. T's enter through here and contact happens about here. And the window introduces a bunch of fun stuff. I built this part of the map exclusively off the window idea. I was like, I need a hallway that runs right along this space out there so that I can have some kind of interplay. And players seem to enjoy this, so I was happy about that. We got a boost spot here, make some noise. And the fun part is the scaffolding here. This really adds a lot to it. If this scaffolding wasn't here, like it originally was just like running, I think, back here, and this was closed, then it became a very like one-sided long stretch fight. But adding that extra dimension of the scaffolding makes these engagements much more interesting, where you have the through arches fights that can happen like this early on, as well as I saw players using this jump, kind of a quirky little thing. But the scaffolding adds a little bit of extra spice to it, so if a CT wants to hold back site, play back here, but then they can push up and be aggressive. The T's would have to choose to peek there. They can move up on that side. And then they have this space to worry about back here, as well as a way to peek into this side of the site. So a lot of little neat quirks there. Am I missing anything right off? T side's pretty straightforward. This is very much placeholder. Like, I'm already coming up with plans on how to make this feel a lot cleaner. But this leads up into T apartments. This will be expanded. It's a little drop-off connector point for if you want to back out. These windows actually shoot outside, for what it's worth. And you have heaven up here. CTs can't reach heaven without doing either a boost or this weird parkour thing. It's a little uncomfortable right now. I'm gonna work on that. And this is alley. This is the other way that T's can come in. Contact happens about here. The CTs have the option to rush all the way to like there if they want to. But the whole part of the map that, in my mind, is kind of the catch of it, is that unlike most Wingman maps where the fight happens directly on the site if they rush, in this, I liked giving CTs options early on to kind of seemingly overextend in order to get information. So they can play back on site at the expense of not being able to cover everything, and there's a bunch of weird angles, right? If they can use util effectively, it's a It's an idea. Like, you could pull it off, and I saw some teams pull it off. Uh, doesn't work all the time. Instead, the CTs are able to push up to this space, like all the way up here, just play long, play the weird angle there, play up in window, occasionally peeking and peeking, or play in loading dock, but you're exposed to this. So we're getting a decent amount of little trade-offs for decisions. So the problem... Oh, here's this backspace, by the way, before I go on. This is how T's get up, like through winery or storage room, whatever, into this fight. And this is just a little snaky connector that connects these spaces so people can turn back if they want to. So the feedback that I was given, and I'll talk about all of it here in a second. The one that really stuck with me was someone mentioned that the CTs never had any incentive to push all the way to T-spawn. And if you think of most wingman maps, they don't necessarily have to touch like T-spawn, but they go back to like that hub area if they're running like a full flank. I should mention, I built this map for flankers, because that's like my mindset. That's what I love to do on wingman maps. I enjoy that like mind gaminess of it. And that's something we got to see a lot in the playtest, but this was all kind of dead space where that wasn't utilized. Like, this is janky, I know that, but it never even got used. I think a CT jumped on this once and it was kind of out of the way. I don't really know why they did it, but glad to see it used. The point being, I want to connect those spaces better. So something I'm considering doing is having this winery area connect up to T apartments. So I was thinking of having a stairwell that ran over these arches. I could lower these a bit, make this like a bridge of apartments overhead, make this space much more breathable, bring that back probably, so that they could flank all the way over here and fully take heaven through T apartments. Only thing I think I would have to do is straighten this out a little bit and add a little half wall here so you couldn't see all the way to the headshot angle on the stairs. That'd be kind of buns. Yeah, CT's never really pushed past this point unless they were sure that the other guy was in courtyard, in which they would run this and contact would happen here. So that's my solution I'm thinking as of right now. I think I'll keep that until somebody complains that the map is maze-like. Then I'll try to consider alternatives. I'm gonna make this a little less noisy by just making this kind of a U. Just cut out the middleman of that last turn. Somebody said it was way too snaky. I agree, in hindsight. T-side is very temporary, so it's nice to have the freedom of hearing that feedback so I can kind of sculpt it into something very different while keeping kind of the core bones there. That's nice. Other feedback was on a couple weird angles, including this one, which was said to be a little too janky, so I'm lowering this cover a little bit, and I might fill in that backspace there. Same thing with this corner. Somebody said that CTs can just get here in this cubby with a shotgun and never get punished. So I might thin loading dock a little bit so it feels a bit riskier. The whole point of it originally was to make it a very easily sandwichable space. So from the T's perspective, that is easily the fastest way to get to the site. The trade-off that happens is that it's very easy to get stuck here. Like if you plant here and a CT starts showing aggression, you don't have a guarantee anymore that you can back up to this point with safety, because another CT could have wrapped around, flanked, dropped from window, though that would make a sound. Point being, this is supposed to be a risky space, and I got some impressions of that from the playtest, but I think it could be better. So yeah, I might thin this space a little bit, a little less cover. This is a bigger piece of feedback that I'm really addressing, is visibility concerns. As you can tell, I asset dumped. I have very much been struggling to make much progress on this map without semi-arting it. Like, obviously this isn't pretty, but we're getting there. So all of this, the visual stuff is really placeholder, so people could kind of relate to the environment and figure out where is where without getting lost. So people said that colors were difficult to see people in. Like, I think there's a train I don't know the agent skins. I think there's a train skin for some reason where somebody was like crouched right there, and whoever swung this literally couldn't see them. Like not even a hope. Same here with like a CT that was standing here. It was just in all this noise, completely lost even against a brick wall. So, yeah, I honestly probably saw 4 rounds lost over 2 matches to just complete, just not being able to see people, as well as on the site, which I agreed with them. They brought up like you would not expect people would be hard to see on this site, but they really are against like the muted browns and the darker colors back there, mixed with this red, all of it. So I agree with that. I'm gonna have to address that. My solution, and something that I'm now considering, is there is a city. Don't fail me now, Firefox. Is it Astuni? Yes, Astuni. So I haven't really known where this map would take place other than Italy. Molo is an Italian word, I believe. And it's like, I don't know, think of the other Italian maps. You have Italy, which is like that really muted gold and like that beige kind of overtone. You have Inferno, which are like those, the bright colors, but relatively muted, like blues and reds and some yellow with a little bit of foliage. So those are beautiful, but they're also their own signature spots. And honestly, I've gotten really attached to Molo as a name. Like, not even like the place so much as the name itself. I enjoy easy to remember and easy to say names like that. So I've kind of latched onto that and fallen in love with the theme as I've done so. But I know that people look at Italian maps and they're like, oh, it's another Mediterranean map, or just Mediterranean maps in general. So if I want mine to set apart a little bit and be more distinct, I think I might go with this kind of theme. Kind of whitewashed walls. Not necessarily this hardcore, because I want spaces to be memorable, and if it's just white, white, white everything, then it's going to be hard to remember. But then I wouldn't have to worry about contrast. Like, this actually wasn't a problem in the playtest, I don't think. But imagine there's a player out on scaffolding. This is going to have to... I'm not going to play with this anymore. But if this background were arted and these were the colors that they are, it would be really difficult to distinct a CT in like this angle. This is the one that came up where somebody got a kill on CT side because it's just hard to see him. Like they got a shotgun kill because this guy peeked and couldn't fully register that anybody was here before dying at this point. So, if I made these pillars like white and this inner space like a slightly different color so that you could tell from out here the difference between this and this, that might help not only visually with gameplay, but also make it a bit more memorable. So I think I'm going to play with that. I definitely don't want it to feel lazy. Like, I don't just want to make everything that white color and call it a day. But it is kind of a relief knowing I'm not going to have to get hardcore into meshwork, since this is my first map, to make everything hyper detailed, when I can just kind of find white wall surfaces that work for me and learn how to play with them. So that's kind of a nice relief. As well as you get more room to art with stuff like that, like little subtle, I know this doesn't matter, it's like a personal preference thing, but like this graffiti down here, the way those arrows show up on those pipes, those are placeholder, obviously, but letting stuff like that pop a little bit more, I think, would give a lot more character to this space. This tree wasn't a problem, and I'm so happy about that. Anyway, I put that there so you know you can't get in. Can you still play with this? Yeah, somebody got stuck on this, so I might move that. Anything else? I got told that it wasn't clear what spaces you could get on top of and which you can't. So I'm going to fill this space up and this space up. I think this is clear. I expected this to be much more of a problematic area, and it's not, which is nice. Really weird angle here, which I don't mind existing, and the weird angles here. Because first time somebody tried getting up here and discovered this spot, they died. So I worried about that being very much too powerful, but I guess it's not a concern. Kind of closing thoughts here. I was really, really pleased with the playtest, not only because people seemed to enjoy it. People told me that they felt like the map spoke to them, that the macro felt straightforward even though it was different from other Wingman maps they played. CTs felt like they had options, Ts felt like they had options, but didn't get a whole lot of chance to breathe in the early game, which is what I'm trying to fix, those changes I mentioned earlier. And really what I'm happy about, Wingman maps need quirks, I think. Like every Wingman map kind of has its own tell. Like all my favorite ones, I could kind of, I don't know, I'll get into that in future videos, I guess. But I was very pleased to see that within just a few playtests, every single spot that I wanted to be used in some kind of creative way for people to discover got used. This car angle, people easily found this when defending long. This truck angle, people started defending here but understood the risk of this space out here. This even got used once, which I love. Somebody planted like here-ish. The guy was coming up from long and went up these stairs, and they popped him from this angle, which I was squealing. That was so cool. Backside was risky. This got used. I didn't know if anybody would try that. This jump got used multiple times, which I was really excited about, because little parkour-y stuff like that, especially with the death pit, that's always fun, I think. And this got used a couple times. I'm gonna replace the scaffolding, but people used grenades throwing it over this, which was cool. So yeah, overall I was really, really pleased with how it went. We are definitely at the stage now where I just need to work on developing it a bit more, work on T side to perfect that, and fill in a couple of these spots or rearrange some things. Get rid of some visual noise as I redo some of the visuals of the map. I'm going to work on that this weekend, I think. And then we'll be chilling. Yeah, so that is Molo. And thanks for watching. Bye.